Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors, including real fishing and hunting situations involving wildlife. We do our best each week to bring you tasteful content, but viewer discretion is advised. Now, enjoy the show.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
We head to Long Neck to see our friends at Shorts Marine to talk Seaside Boat Show. We'll meet Ty Beach, the January recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm-to-Table Scholarship. We'll head back to Scorchy's Corner to meet a Camden, Wyoming clockmaker. And we'll head out to the Riverside Lodge for a very special youth duck hunting weekend. Outdoors Delmarva starts right now.
Welcome to Outdoors Delmarva, the show dedicated to a commitment of conservation and to the community that makes Delmarva's outdoors such a hidden gem here in the Mid-Atlantic. My name is Jason Lee, and look, I know that things are tough right now, but if you've got a roof over your head, food in the pantry, and someone that puts up with your shenanigans, consider yourself blessed beyond measure.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And now, here's Jason Lee.
The 40th annual Seaside Boat Show is next weekend, so we stopped by to see our friends at Shorts Marine to see what they'll be showcasing at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center in Ocean City.
Shorts Marine's been in business for 70 years. We opened up in 1949. Still a family-owned business and taking care of our customers' service and sales needs all along. We sell boats, watercraft, outboard motors, trailers, all the accessories for your boats. We have a very large parts inventory for servicing your boats as well. So we have more than any other dealer in the Delmarva area for that kind of equipment. You know, the Seaside Boat Show is the big boat show for all of us in this area. We really love it. It kind of kicks off the season. Gives you an opportunity to meet new people and, get things going. Everyone gets that blood pumping again for the spring to get here. Every year we run into people who said, I bought my boat 2 or 3 years ago from you. Maybe they're looking for another one, maybe they just want to chat, but we're always here for them. We have, especially the last couple years, as anybody who's been looking at boats knows, they've been, few and far between, but inventories are coming back up. We now have, quite a few boats in stock on the floor that we can sell people, and the boat show will be all full of that. I think it's just that excitement of getting, all the boats get moving again, and, people walking around looking at the boats, and the interest gets piqued, and, it's the middle of February, but it really gets people thinking about, I'm ready to go in March or April. You're out there, especially the convention center, you're out there looking at the water, thinking about it all day. March, April is when most people end up putting their boats back in the water. Time to get bottom paint and serviced and put back in. That's what we're here for. Biggest thing we have kind of going right now is these Sea-Doo switch. Sea-Doo has come out with a pontoon boat that's jet driven. They came out last year, but they sold out like almost immediately. So we really didn't have any on the sales floor, or didn't have any in inventory to sell people. And Sea-Doo's caught up with all that. So now we have inventory, and we have them available for delivery right now if people would like them. Well, it's a pontoon boat, but it has a jet drive like a Sea-Doo motor, and they call it the switch because all of the seats and components of the boat, not all, but most of them, you can move them around. So if you don't like the seating the way they come from the factory, you can move them around to tiles all over the boat where you'd like them and make the boat more yours. The boat show is a great time to get a real view of what's new, what's innovative, what fits you, get you a chance to sit on boats. We're not necessarily, over the winter, it's really hard to get a time to sit on a boat. They're all sitting outside covered up or shrink wrapped, and even then, if you unwrap them, it's 40 degrees outside. Who wants to sit outside? It just takes away that feeling like I want to go look at it. And the boat shows, it's a nice warm place to be in the cold day. We've traditionally had a bunch of snowstorms that weekend. Fortunately, it looks like weather's going to be great this time.
The 40th annual Seaside Boat Show is the 17th, 18th, and 19th at the Roland E. Powell Convention Center in Ocean City. For additional information, go online to ocboatshow.com. Still to come, we'll head back to Scorchy's Corner to meet a man who puts a unique spin on clockmaking. But up next, we'll meet Ty Beach, the January recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm-to-Table Scholarship. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. We'll be right back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. We are proud to partner with Mountaire Farms to recognize Delmarva High School students who have a passion for agriculture and the culinary arts. And we're happy to introduce you to Ty Beach, the January recipient of the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship.
At a young age, I was always cooking and helping out my mom in the kitchen, and that just led me to like seeing people's reactions, especially when they ate what I made, to see a good reaction. Then I pursued it further in school, and that really helped me gain experience rapidly and just start to help out a lot more, and then even pursue to get a job here at Ray Joe's.
He came in from school, he had that passion from, I think it was Parkside's culinary program, and I love that here. Like I already sent 2 guys through culinary school, so having another person that was really passionate about it made sense, because we train the chefs through different processes in the kitchen. I don't just stick them to the fryer or stick them to salads. We give them the creativity to saute or grill and even make up specials if he wants to. So it was pretty cool to see him come on board. The communication barrier is sort of easier, and it's very easier for me to sort of teach them or adapt their skills or tone their skills a little bit, as opposed to starting from scratch. But either way, it's good to have that culinary base, and then, like I said, you get tone it, figure out what you didn't learn in school. I could teach you the other stuff that you haven't learned, and it's really cool to be working and going to school at the same time, because you get to learn both sides.
When I met Ty, you know, you always vision, and you can see this potential just oozing. But he was always so like apprehensive and inward type person, like a mouse, like you'd move forward and he would jump. And then now you can see that, you know, his feet's planted and he just wants to go forward, and it's not like, do I go left, do I go right? I mean, he is going forward now. His family supports him wholeheartedly. He works in the industry, so he knows what it's like when I say, hey, I need it yesterday. He gets that, okay? And then also, he works really hard on his grades. So, I mean, he's impeccable on his grades, attendance, and then first and foremost is treat people like he wants to be treated. You know, I try to mirror, and he's a good mirror of what it should be for professionalism. You know, if you're happy and you're strong and you're confident, the people around you, because it's not just an individual that becomes a good cook or a good chef. It's the people around us that make us who we are today.
Finding jobs is definitely a really good way to say, because it means that you have more people that are getting involved and also having more opportunities to help the community. And I think that just is amazing.
Ty Rexton Beach, for your commitment to feeding the world like we do at Mountaire Farms, it's my pleasure to present to you the WBOC Mountaire Farm to Table Scholarship Award. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Ty. We wish you all the best in your future endeavors. If you'd like more information or to nominate a student, search for Farm to Table at WBOC.com. Still to come, we head back to the Riverside Lodge for a very special youth hunting trip. But up next, we'll meet a Camden, Wyoming clockmaker in Scorchy's Corner. Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, returns right after this.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. No goofy dancing or really bad lip syncing in this TikTok video, as time and artistry come together in this week's Scorchy's Corner.
Honoring the life and legacy of Scorchy Taws, thanks to Shorts Marine in Long Neck, Delaware. Shorts Marine, everything but the water.
Ralph Jones of Camden, Wyoming, Delaware makes clocks. Not a clockmaker in the sense of those masters who tinker with the inner workings of heirloom timepieces. Ralph Jones is in love with their bodies, not their souls. He is a craftsman in wood and has deftly cultivated that talent into the art of making eye-catching, decorative, and unusual timepieces of all descriptions. R.J. Woodcrafts, he calls his hobby, one that began so innocently.
A couple Christmases ago, I made some Christmas presents for my relatives, and they liked them. My father-in-law said, I should maybe think about trying to get into craft shows, and which I did and which I'm doing right now.
Ralph Jones is a quiet type of person, but has the zeal of a missionary when it comes to making clocks. He is always looking for forms and configurations that will trigger his clock-making imagination.
I look at a lot of magazines. I see a lot of things, and I change them around somewhat, and I just come up with different ideas from time to time. For instance, I was out in the garage fooling around with some fishing rods not too long ago, and I came across one of my dad's old rods, and I said, I'm gonna make one of those, which I did, and it turned out pretty good. It's a pretty good seller right now.
There is no complexity in the inner workings of a Ralph Jones clock. The works are bought from a reputable distributor, fueled by 2 batteries, carry a 6-year guarantee, and are dependable as Big Ben. They don't gong or chime. Ralph's clocks attract attention from the eye, not the ear, and are very affordable. Ralph Jones's RJ Woodcrafts can be seen at selected craft shows, at Craftsman's World in Easton, and at his Camden, Wyoming home, where you just might catch him working on his latest clock creation he mentioned earlier.
Right now I'm concentrating on fishing rods. That, like I said, that's a hot seller. I like it. I haven't seen any rods like it.
Throughout Delmarva, there are hundreds of craftspeople who make many varieties of things that are important to them. What is important to Ralph Jones is making unique clocks, and he does it very well. Ouachita is wandering our Delmarvelous land for WBOC News.
Remembering Scorchy Taws is presented by Shorts Marine, online at shortsmarine.com.
Did you know, due to changes in local gravity, a pendulum clock that is accurate at sea level will lose nearly 16 seconds per day if moved to an altitude of 4,000 feet or more? Now you do.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back. You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. We're taking you back to the Riverside Lodge right now for a very special youth duck hunting trip.
We got our first experience with the Riverside Lodge back in December and immediately fell in love with the place. So when Gary and Peggy McQuitty invited us for a special youth weekend duck hunting trip, we started packing our bags. As we joined the other guests who were enjoying the finer comforts of the lodge, I got to sit down with Evan and Caden, who I would be joining on the hunt.
Sure, this is the first time I've been duck hunting ever, and it's just really cool getting to come out here. It's a good experience, just being outside. It calms your mind, I guess.
It's just like people going outside, like makes you more calm when you go outside more often. Because like when you're inside playing your games, you kind of get like a little mad. When I do that, I just go outside for a little bit, and, like be calm. Probably stay out there for a little bit and go back inside.
It's a very fortunate thing that we can do and just come out here. It's a really cool opportunity, and I'm just really glad to be out here.
A couple of friends ready to hit the water, but on Saturday morning, the water wasn't quite ready for us. The conditions that morning were less than ideal, but we were determined to get out there and have a great day. We got a late start due to the low tide and the ice, and it was a chilly ride out to the blind. But once we got out there and settled in, we were ready for the birds. And while we waited for said birds, Evan wanted to share his story with me.
So I was diagnosed with lymphoma in July. And lymphoma is a blood cancer, and it attacks your blood cells and your bones.
And you're going through chemo treatment right now?
Yeah, chemotherapy.
And how long is that chemotherapy supposed to last before they finally think that you're going to get a clear bill of health?
About 2.5 years.
And you've been going through chemo for how long now?
6 or 7 months.
6 or 7 months. So we still got a bit of a journey ahead of us.
Yes.
But you know, by the time that you get to be a senior, hopefully we've got a clear bill of health and you'll be all done with your treatments. Where are you getting your treatments done?
University of Maryland, Baltimore. Yes, I have a lot of good supporters and friends and family.
You're a big sports guy, but this seems to be the one thing that you can continue to do throughout all the treatments.
Yes, during treatment, I've had to kind of stop playing baseball for a little bit because I've been so sick and I just haven't been able to go to practices or games. So I picked up a new hobby of I always wanted to go hunting.
And with this being your first duck hunt, so what do you think so far?
It was pretty good. We already saw a duck, but it was first one I ever shot at and missed.
That's all right. We're gonna see more today, I'm sure.
And we waited, and we waited. And eventually we said, if the ducks aren't going to come to us, we'll go to the ducks. And the boys finally got to put some rounds down range. Evan and Caden got their ducks and a lifetime of memories. And they weren't the only ones. It was a successful weekend all around, and the ducks were only part of the story.
The importance of the outdoors community cannot be overstated. We're going to do our best to get regular updates on Evan's road to remission, and we'll let you know how he's doing. You'll also be able to meet the Riverside Lodge family at the Outdoors Delmarva Expo coming Saturday, April 22nd to the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington. We'll give you more information about that and share your latest photos when Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru, returns right after this.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Welcome back to Outdoors Delmarva. It's time to flip through the photo album and take a look at your latest pictures, thanks to our friends at North Bay Marina.
Dean Grabowski submitted some Smyrna duck hunting photos with his son Nate. Matthew Coey of Seaford sent in some photos from his daughter Carly's squirrel harvest. Clearly a successful Dorchester County snow goose hunt for the Warfield boys, Avery and Nathan. Kira Sears of Wingate, Maryland shows off this great-looking canvas-back drake. James Cliver Wyden harvested a 44-pound coyote in Worcester County. Luke Townsend of Georgetown harvested this impressive mallard. Joey Melvin was able to get some great pictures of his rabbit dogs in action in the Milford area. And John C. Smith captured this stunning shot from his tour boat off the coast of Chincoteague.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Well, that's going to do it for us this week. Keep sending in those photos by emailing outdoors@wboc.com. Now, if you've been looking for us on the internet, but you want one single simple location to find all of our web links, well, now's the time to grab your phone, open up your camera, and point it at the screen. This QR code has all of our links right there at your fingertips. Just a reminder, the Outdoors Delmarva Expo is coming to the Delaware State Fairgrounds in Harrington on Saturday, April 22nd, and it's free to attend, and we'd like to see you there. Now, if you have a business on Delmarva that specializes in anything outdoors and you would like to join us, well, just send us an email and we'll get you all the information. Until we see each other right back here next week, well, I hope to see you outdoors, Delmarva.
You've been watching Outdoors Delmarva, which is presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And sponsored by Shorts Marine. Everything but the water.